Now, I have a few big things to clean up on, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave this, and I'm going to leave another optional boss. So, this is going to be a little boring. So, Bubbles, if you want to head out, fine, but you can listen to me if you want to, too. I'm going to go and I'm going to work on filling in the journal entries. As we see, I've encountered 151, but I've only completed 130. So, let's go all the way to the top. Okay, I've done Crawlid, done Vengefly, Vengefly King, Gruzzer, Gruz Mother, Tick Tick, Aspid Hunter, Aspid Mother, Aspid Hatchling, Wandering Husk, Husk Hornhead. Need to do 10 Leaping Husks. Need to do 4 Husk Bullies. Ooh, that could be a problem. Need to do 8 Husk Warriors, okay. These ones are a little bit easier to do if you do them early. Like if you want to complete the Hunter's Journal, I suggest completing all the entries in the regular crossroads before letting them become infected. The game won't block you off from being able to get any of them, but they'll be less. I went to Dirtmouth. I want to go to Crossroads. God. Oh. We can also... That's sad. But there is one other thing we need to do. Ooh. Okay, well that's fine. Well, need is a strong word. But there is a NPC quest line I have technically left unresolved. Questline is maybe a generous word for it. Went the wrong way. Derp. Ooh, right in that explosion. Oh, man. Oh, there's the big platforming section. Because I don't have 40 charms yet. I don't want to do the platforming thing tonight, though. Despite that being what that says. Hey! Oh, maybe this is fine, actually. She's still at it. Oh, no. Do you not throw? No, she does throw. Okay. Bury my sisters 2 by 2. Bury my father pale and slight. Oh well. Man, crystals are a hell of a drug. Okay, now I need to find some basic enemies. Well, I could kill this guy real quick. Still be around. Because I also need to get an additional 9,000. Ooh. Although I think I have enough life seeds actually. That's fine. There we go. Specifically to get the next ending, I need to get... Wrong button. This charm needs to be complete. I need to get the other half of the white fragment. I'll give it an attempt. No, he wasn't there. That's okay. Which one is the problem to get? No, I don't need these. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Need the leaping one and the husk bully. And the husk warrior. The husk warrior shouldn't be as bad, actually. Oh, let's go check out this path. Oh, more of these explosive ones. You're not what I need. You're the hornhead ones. I don't need you either. I need regular jumpers. Okay, well that didn't work. Let's see what's over this way. Let's heal up. Another volatile Vengefly. I don't think that's gonna do what I want either. Damn. Okay. I have to go down. I have to go the long way. Heck, wait a second. Where is... Oh, is it this way? Ah, here we go. So yeah, those two Husk Warriors stay there. Because the game has to make sure you can get them. This is the one you not to finish the journal. Anything interesting in this room? I don't think so. Nope. It's going to make me have to... Leaping Husk, Husk Bully. Well, I can at least... Oh, I need to do 2 husk guards too? Wow, really? Okay. Well, I have a way of doing this. Ah, I should have done this earlier when it was substantially easier. I'm astonished there's no husk bullies here. I just need to find the other place the husk bullies are at. Okay, keep going up. Oh, I really screwed myself by having to come all the way up here to get to the husk guard. Fact, it would have probably been worth dream gating, but now it won't be. So why do this? Something to talk about, So, in my, I have a group I play within on Saturdays. We've been playing 5e for a few years now. The group started with a series of, this was Dylan Dillpage. He was DMing, we called it the 4e Adventurers Guild. The idea was, it was largely continuity free, or they'd be like a few episodes in like one little short series, but spread out over maybe a month or two between certain sessions. They'd be drop in, drop out, 4E, little 1 to 2 session modules. Not even modules, just sessions. One shots. Level 7, made tons of dumb characters for it. Had a great time, lasted a year? Year and a half? I think just a year. I'm giving the whole backstory to this, but I have time, so why not? As that was going, this was way back in those early days. I was gonna say a lot of you young whippersnappers, but I think you might be younger than me, Bubble. You probably are. I don't know. The hypothetical younger kids these days. This was before 5e was really a thing. Back when it was just young enough, people didn't realize the craze it was soon to become. Pre-Critical Role even. Which, man, that's a weird thing to think about. The world before Critical Role. So, Dill, didn't really feel like doing another Adventurers Guild style thing. We were all new to 5e at the time, and he didn't feel like making his own world for it. The times before the times. Yeah. So we decided we would do the published modules, because 4e, the published modules were not very good. 5e, they're mostly good. They're a little rough around the edges sometimes. I think 5e just is a better system for modules anyhow, so it works out. So we started with the kind of like the classic adventure of Lost Mine of Phandelver. Also played a little bit of that with Sam as DM. That was when I had Zotar the Magnificent. We only got a couple sessions in. Same module. It takes you 1 through 4. We went through 5. That was 15 sessions. Not even half a year. Not even half a year. But it was good stuff. We had no idea what we were doing. Probably broke a ton of rules. Kind of missed that time, honestly. Once you get to know a system as well as we know 5e, you learn that it becomes a little bit restrictive almost. Because it's like, oh, can I do this thing? No, you really can't. Like, I mean, maybe if we don't think about it, or maybe someone comes out and looks like, no, you can't Divine Smite with you. No, I'm not going to get into that. But Lost Mine was good. It's real basic stuff. The most interesting things from that were we had a Bugbear Fighter, who was one of 2 smartest characters in the party. That party didn't have any int. He had 12 int, and I believe my Elven Ranger had 12 int. People didn't even know that, because it wasn't as funny for the Elven Ranger to have one of the highest ints. But the Bugbear Fighter, that's good stuff. So we had to fight a Wyvern, and we were only level 3 at the time? Maybe... No, I think we were level 3. Maybe even level 2. It was one of those fights that we were not meant for. But we pursued it aggressively, and our Bugbear Fighter proceeded to climb on the Wyvern's back as it began to fly away. I don't even quite remember. I think it was like 60 feet he fell as a pretty low-level fighter. Wasn't enough to kill him, but still in the moment made the pretty good DM call to say that sure, the damage wasn't that bad, but that was just... He had 3 levels of exhaustion just permanently until we found a way to, like, help fix him. 3 levels of exhaustion means you're permanently at half speed. So it became an interesting conundrum that we had our Bugbear Fighter, who we had to basically cart around, because he was just... 15 base speed means you're moving very slowly. But that's not the most interesting that happened there. Also in Lost Mine of Phandelver, I'm not going to exactly remember. Oh, I need to go the other way around. God damn it. It would be faster to go. Okay, we'll go back to Dirtmouth and go around that way. We were exploring a house for... You investigate these mercenaries in the town. I don't remember what their name is. I'm real bad with names in general. In the bottom of the house when you're exploring it, there is a aberrant creature called a Nothic there. It's like the twisted form of an old wizard. It has the one eye. It has an ability to, like, read people and see, like, their deepest seated, like, a secret as it does it. Great low-level DM kind of an enemy to have. What was I gonna do here? Right, I was gonna go down. Unfortunately, there was no way to shut Zod up now, so whenever I go to Dirtmouth, he's gonna be constantly going, Precept 17. You should listen to me. Also, I forgot to do the thing, but it didn't matter, so. The power of a 1 in 50 proc chance. So, we didn't want to fight this Nothic because we were still low level. We were damaged. It was an interesting character to talk to. So we were talking to it, and Scott, in just a fantastically ill-advised moment, we were talking about it, and it had a magic sword. just a +1. But when you're baby adventurers, a +1 sword of any kind is pretty good. So, Scott made a deal with the Nothic. Like, a little bit of a forced deal, honestly. Not super egregious, but there was definitely a little bit of, once it started, the commitment point happened. Really nifty to turning most impregnable heights into pregnable heights. Yeah. I think that was kind of our idea at the time, like, having a magic weapon is just a good backup to have in case you run into something. Always making wacky deals. Like a werewolf. Oh, that's how it goes. Okay. Also, welcome you two. So, long story short, the Nothic wants food, which happened to be dead bodies, so it made the deal with Scott at the time, this character. Ow, I just hurt myself there. That he'd feed it, I think it was once a week? It had to be once a week. No, or was that? No, it was at the end of the month, but once. Regardless, he had to feed it a dead body. It was one a day, okay. Right, okay. See, I mean, I'm going into the story time and I can't even remember all the details. Now, it was fine with bodies that were already dead. But eventually you're not going to have those, right? Yeah, it made traveling a conundrum. And we stocked up some bodies, so that wasn't going to be a problem. But the thing is, to enforce it, the Nothic used a handy 5th level spell. Chaos, Gesh, whatever you want to call it. If you're not familiar with what it does, you are charmed by the creature and you're under the loose terms of a contract. And the first time per day, when you... Man, I'm just not finding any kind of the enemy I need. The first time you break it in a 24-hour period, which is the way we ruled it so we could do some interesting things there, you would take 5d10 psychic damage. Now, by the time 5th level spells are fairly common, 5d10 is not much. But to your level 2 or 3 adventurers, especially a bird, where you're looking at your maximum hit points is still going to be in the lower 20s or so, that will probably knock you out and could maybe even kill you. So, a large part of our Mine of Phandelver run-through was dominated by these two things that we did to ourselves, which still did a fantastic job of adjudicating in ways that were fair to us, that made us have to deal with these things that we chose. Dealing with our bugbear being half crippled from just massive amounts of his bones being broken from a high altitude fall, and our bird constantly having his mind in jeopardy of exploding unless he gave a Nothic a corpse once per day. We had to run around, we had to find our ways around it. We were looking at like getting a potion of invulnerability so that when the time would come for the chaos damage to proc, he could have a protection for his mind. It'd be half damage for everything. All kinds of stuff like that. And it was just real wild. Kind of just figuring things out. Geez, okay. So that was the first one of 3 of these modules we've done. And then in the meantime, let me real quick. Okay. So I have a couple of things I still need to find, but I really need to find where I can find the Husk Bully. Leaping Husk is not a huge problem. I could grind that out real fast, actually. Ah. So that was the first one. It went pretty short. It was real, like, figuring out things, but it was a good time. What had more impact was when we jumped to the next module, which was Curse of Strahd, which is soon going to get a second version. Or has already. Either way, I'm not the real book count when it comes to the modules and stuff. Whereas Lostmine and Phandelver is pretty straightforward stock, traveling through Forgotten Realms, just a good introductory adventure. Barovia, The Curse of Strahd, Barovia, Ravenloft, all that. It's gothic horror. It invites having bad things happen to the PC. Just the trauma of dealing with personal regrets, bad things in your past, all that kind of stuff. It was a real, because this group before had just done 4E one-shots and a basic 5E adventure model. It was the first one that kind of, as a group, challenged us to kind of collectively stretch our RP chops to really work at this kind of stuff. Oftentimes in Curse of Strahd, you want to kill the PCs, but usually you don't want that to be the end, because it's way more easy to drive a character down dark paths if they die, but that's not the end. So, notable adventures from that. We have quite a lot. I think first, we were still fairly new to this. Well, not fairly new to it, but relatively early on, because for whatever reason, in these modules still runs for us, we have this uncanny way of dodging a lot of times, like getting loot and stuff. And we were significantly magically on the concentration action economy. Yeah, we were still learning the game in Curse of Strahd. That was where I think most of us actually did fully, like, kind of come into our own learning stuff. Let me backtrack a little bit. Before we began, part of how we ran it is we all had a secret for our character to have, so Dill could play with. It could come up in the module itself he could work with, which is good stuff in general for most games, but especially in Curse of Strahd, you kind of want that ability to seed dark thoughts and missives in people. Especially because the mists of Barovia actively mess with adventurers to kind of prepare the landscape for their corruption, so that perhaps they replace Strahd as they wrap up the story of Strahd and Barovia. So we'd managed to get through the first third, maybe quarter, without any real deaths or tragedies. Then we got to the little town of Vallaki. I think it was Vallaki. Hope I'm getting the name right there. Regardless, it was a town under siege by werewolves. They would come, they would steal the children away. I mean, it's fine if I blow myself up, I just heal at the bench anyways. Now, werewolves are an interesting threat, because the danger they represent varies a lot on your party build and how much access you have to magical damage. We were low level enough that the majority of our characters did not have access to that. Maybe it was about half and half. 3 little things. So, we wanted to save the kids, but we weren't ready to fight a bunch of werewolves. So, Captain... Yeah, Captain likes to bring it up a lot. We needed to weaken the werewolves somehow. Well, this is Barovia. Yes, one caster wasn't with the party at the time. Good reminder there too, Dill. So, what are werewolves weak to? Well, we knew they were weak to silver. But how's a way we could weaken them all? We couldn't get a ton of silver. Captain had the idea. Let's poison them by spiking wine with powdered silver. Which was a fine plan, but we had no wine. But we had prestidigitation. So change the color of the water, change the taste of it. You got a wine facsimile. So, with having only like one strong character, we somehow struggle our way up to taking 2 or 3 of these casks of fake-ass water wine with silver dust in it. We get to the cave. We start talking our way through. We find out that the hunters are mostly away, so it's mostly just the women and kids at the time. Which, I mean, yeah. Easy multi-kill, right? Well, they're still werewolves. But we managed to pull it off. We get them to start drinking it. It poisons majority of them. Makes it so we don't horribly die during that. And I'm gonna put a little pin in this because I need to see what... I need to find the husk bully, right? I'm just gonna be lame and look it up in the wiki. Hollow Knight Husk Bully. I'm sure it'll say where some of them are. The City of Tears, Green Path. Green Path, right, okay. Not what I meant to hit. So, we have, through stupid amounts of ingenuity and good luck, managed to overcome a challenge that really we had no right to. We were coming out the victors. We had the 5 kids ready to go out. We have there's a little bit of a hostage scenario that we need to take care of. So, we tell our barbarian, played by Scott, that he should take the kids out while we take care of the situation. Forgetting that over the course of this, a couple of the werewolves bit us. Scott's character leaves with the children, the mists of Barovia, in their eternal douchebaggery part, as they should, mind you, to reveal a perfect full moon. And we lose our first character of that game. Yeah, he took the kids out, and then he took the kids out. That is not where Anatoly died, but is where Scott stopped playing him. Because that'd be rough to play through. That was a good retirement choice for that character. Yeah, let's take me to Green Path, buddy. We did lose a character. So, we put it together here. We were level 4. I now know we were level 4, and I know why. Because we leveled up right after this. So we were level 4 doing that, which is why we had such a hard time. I think if I go... here is good. Yeah. Oh no, trust me, I remember Marco. I was the one who was technically the instrument of it. So a couple people had their characters been as well besides Anatoly, Scott's character. Captain Warlock had it. I'm pretty sure at least Aerith had it. And Alice's Kenku monk, Way of the Long Death, had gotten bitten. So, we have this moment where we see the moon outside, and we realize that, oh, one of our party members has become a monster. And Alice's character, he was the kind who was, at least I believe it was a he. It didn't matter too much, it was a Kenku, but they don't have such obvious sexual dimorphism. Also, I thought I was gonna find something here, but I think I was wrong. I think I entirely misread the situation. He was a monster through his own means, but he didn't want to be an actual monster. Yeah, and the mists show you memories of the past and perversions of it to kind of torture you with those darkly held secrets I mentioned earlier. And that was what Alice said. They would rather choose to die than to be a literal monster. Man, okay, so if this is not where the thing is, where the hell do I want to go then? Looks like there's the Howling Cliffs. I guess Howling Cliffs, maybe. So, my character, Cad, because I was never nice to Cad, per se. I don't think I can actually go this way, can I? I think this is the kind of thing that you can go... Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. You can't go this way. Ha 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 ha. I said, if you want to die, I'll do it. Because Cat didn't have any magical means of damage then. And werewolves, of course, they don't take weapon damage. It's why they're so hard early on. You hit them with any mundane weapon, it just bounces right off. I stabbed the Kenku in the heart, and because Alice wanted the character to die, the werewolf curse had not fully kicked in then. And that was how... just soared right through the heart. I didn't make a ton of great choices with that character, but I feel like that was a good, like, character choice. I didn't maybe spin as much out of it as I should have, but the idea of accidentally killing someone because you just thought they'd be fine anyhow, even though they asked you to, it's kind of like a complicated form of guilt. I really have no idea where any of these things are. I'll keep looking. The wiki says there's something here, so... So, there we were down 2 characters. Not players, though. We all knew what we had gone into. They were obviously ready to bring in new characters, so... Scott decides, hey, I'm going to play the mother of one of the kids that my other character killed. There we go, I think that was a Husk Bully right then. Yes, it is. Okay, sweet. Just really powerful role-playing decision there. He also wanted to try out the new Lycan Blood Hunter, so one of the kids we came back, because they, obviously some of them, that one had the werewolf curse in him. We did a whole thing where he got Frankenstein, he got killed and brought back to make her into the Lycan Blood Hunter. Eventually, Scott's character killed Anatoly, his first character from it, to get revenge. Good stuff. And then Alice Mjolnir, to replace her more mildly, subtly evil Kenku character, brought in Terramat, the Dragonborn Paladin of Tiamat. Terramat was in many ways untouchable. Barovia tried to stain her soul black, and it had nothing to work with. Anytime a madness came up for it, it just emphasized character traits she already had. There were plenty of times it felt like she was almost carrying us through things, because paladins are pretty good. So, we got those two additions. It was an interesting change. But we thought, you know, things are going to be stable for a little while. No major change. We had 2 party members change out. What's the weirdest thing that happens next? About that. I guess I should go with Meredith's things next, but first I'm gonna get distracted again. I have Husk Bully. So what's next for me to do? Oh, I need to do moss skins? Oh, that's always a lame one. Okay. Back to Green Path it is. Still mentioned earlier, we were missing one of our casters. That is Marco's Disney princess type character. She was a bird druid. Well, she is a bird druid. Well, was. It's an old campaign. Things have changed, but regardless. We let her go to Castle Ravenloft on her own, kind of. She split off from the party for a while. Should have worked out a lot worse for us than it really did. But fortunately, we got lucky enough that nothing too bad happened. Doesn't mean it wasn't quite harrowing. She ran away at one point, having, I believe it was taking one of the green, they're like the wine gems or whatever you need. I think that's what Marilyn took. I think it's Marilyn. Now I need to be careful because of the whole Meredith thing that keeps happening in the Sunday game. So she got lucky in that, running through the mists. She pulled a card. I think you rolled for the card and immediately used it? Or maybe you just had it stored up and you used it. But she found temporary sanctuary in the magnificent mansion of a mad mage. As you do. Good stuff. But oh, that was a little bit wild. Not as wild as when we found you, though. Ah, okay. What did she flee from the castle with, then? Or am I misremembering that? Or maybe she just fled the castle anyways. And I'm probably just combining things from another point. That sounds like me. But let me skip to the druids, because I slightly remember at least one of the main parts there. Man, Green Path music is so good. Yeah. Later. Okay. So that all looks about okay. So, speaking of magic, trees, and rampaging, we finally decide we want our druid bird back. So we go, and we find out there's some druids doing no good. Actually, I guess it's more a coincidence we found you there. I don't think we technically knew you were there. No, that makes no sense. It does not help that I am just completely distracted doing these very basic grinding tasks. So the part I want to get to is we go to approach the Gulthias tree, which is known as this kind of tree that these druids set up by, that is tainted by vampiric powers. Strahd rules over Barovia, he's part of the land, vampirism, all that stuff. Out of character, that sounds right. We had the excuse in character to go to this thing that out of character we knew we had to go to find her. So, Marilyn's secret was that the line she was a part of, her family, the kingdom they're kind of a part of, had enjoyed a lot of prosperity under protection of another Gulthias tree outside. So that is where she got kind of her druid abilities from. And this Gulthias tree found her, and as she's not the one who had made a contract with the Gulthias tree outside, that was like her grandmother or something like that. Maybe great-grandmother? This one figured, I have a free priestess here. It's good for me, it's good for you. So, on a session happening on Easter, which is why it's so memorable, we eventually find our precious Disney princess-esque type bird druid naked crucified to the Gulthias tree as part of her pact to gain power from it. I was her aunt. Yeah, I knew eventually she was going to. As you can imagine, it was a rough sight. It was a weird time where, like, Marco kind of worked a little bit against us, a little with us, because obviously Marilyn didn't want to hurt the party, but also we all thought the tree was evil and needed to die, but Marilyn wanted to make use of its powers, because it's the kind of tree that she was always meant to work with. It's just the way it is. Obviously I don't have the exact... It's been a while back and not my character, so motivation might be a little fuzzy there, but suffice it to say, it was a hell of a moment. But what will always kind of, why my Curse of Strahd experience is a little bit unique is because eventually Strahd, because he is a polite vampire, will invite you to his home. It's a classic villain move, right? Why not stay, see where you'll be eventually coming to meet him. As we're exploring that place, we find, because we're exploring the castle, dangerous things happen. A large slime almost seriously messes up our equipment. And Blackjack, yes, Blackjack was the first one to fall, I believe. As he's exploring, because Blackjack is very adventurous, and his character Bertram was inspired because the whole part of Strahd, he wants to find his reincarnated lady love, who just so happened to be Blackjack's character's love that he had found too. There's a whole cycle of reincarnation thing we were dabbling with, because his character Bertram was also the reincarnation of Strahd's old brother. He goes and he falls down this kind of a secret trapdoor. I decide, you don't want to split the party. I follow him. We find a line of jail cells. For best romance scene of 2018. Oh, hey, sweet, I finally killed that thing. Sorry, again, a little pin as I check this. Oh, I need to find a Durandal? Okay, I think you're... Yeah, you'd be this way, right? No, those are all... They float. Maybe on the way to Queen's Garden, though? I think down this way. Down this corridor, we see 4 creepy-looking little puppets. And then we have to make charisma saves. There's me and Blackjack's character. There is... I believe it was a summoned animal for Marilyn? Or, no, it was a wild shape. It was a wild shape. Our Bardrude was there with us, but in her wild shape form, I believe. Oh, wait, I don't want to go this way, do I? No. And then there was an NPC with us. We all... That was already weird. We all fail our charisma saves. We get body swapped with the dolls. Now, because we had kind of bad luck there, Dill made the call that instead of making 3 party members dolls, it took over the wild shape of Marilyn, so we didn't end up losing her again. Also because that would have been just real shitty for Marco. We only have you back for so long, and immediately, like, just from bad luck, you get taken out again. Not be able to play your character again. This is a good call. Also, really funny and interesting to think about. There we go. Durandal dead. I need to find the fungified husk. So, let's go through Fall Canyon to get to the fungal waste, which is this way. Oh, this is the part I need Captain for, because I don't actually even remember, God. Dill, what's that adventuring party called? Because the dolls themselves were already inhabited, it turns out. Oh, how am I not remembering? It's been a little while. The Waffle Crew. Yeah, the Waffle Crew from Dice Camera Action. So, our characters, now inhabited by the Waffle Crew, yeah, and so we would watch the show, yeah, because Captain had, I think Scott had watched a little bit, enough to be vaguely familiar. So, obviously though, unfortunately, like, Blackjack and myself were the 2 who did it, and we didn't have really tons of reference, but that's okay. I can play ball. Sometimes. I'm decently agreeable, I'd say. So they take off. And instead of coming together to maybe, you know, argue with them and maybe see if after a session or two we could get our bodies back. We decide instead we've had enough of the castle, so we run away. There's a teleportation setup below there. It can just let you get going. And we gamble on the thing that sends us to Mount Gagazet? I think that sounds right. It sends us to a cold, snowy mountain. Blackjack and I are dolls now. And we will continue to be dolls for the next about third of the campaign. So, as we teleport to this snowy mountain, we find ourselves attacked by a rock. Rocks are big, nasty, and they're tough. But we were doing okay. But, you know, Blackjack and I, these little dolls, we can't really do too much. Except that, I mean, the dolls swap bodies with us, right? They have a mental, like, blast power that's only, like, range 10-15 feet. But if it hits, it does decent psychic damage, and it, yeah, Blackjack had many ideas. So eventually, we get to the point where, we make the decision that, so Blackjack and I can be effective, we will take our little doll bodies, impale them on arrows, and shoot them into the rock's face. So that we could then become little damage turrets, constantly assailing it with our mental blasts. Now, in very quick hindsight, this was a dumb plan. Because we really just need to drive the rock off. We weren't doing a ton of damage, and the rock has an insane flying speed. When it was starting to get low on HP, it did what rocks do. It ran away. Well, flew away. I'll just go this way. It's gonna take a little while, but it should get me where I need to go. Oh, I forgot the mantises were friendly. Oh. I'll try not to murder the rest. That made me feel bad. Sorry. I mean, I say friendly. They just respect that I defeated their leaders. But they're not aggro. I don't want to do that. Just, I saw an enemy. I was like, attack. You started an international incident. Oh, this is carrying me a good amount of time. So, the rock carries us away from the mountain. And Blackjack and I decide, like, well, we're still attached to it. And it's not like the rock can really get at us because of where we're shot at it, right? So, we basically, I make the argument, if we try really hard, could we maybe try to swap minds with it? It doesn't work. We don't roll well. It was a ridiculous ask to make. It's the kind of thing where, like, you make this argument and then you pray for a nat 20, and that you can maybe, like, either in person or over the internet make big enough doe eyes that the DM's like, fine, you rolled a nat 20. Didn't happen. Well, we killed the rock. Unfortunately, the rock was still very far up in the air, and it dropped us. And Blackjack, fortunately at least, happened to make his save. I, however, did not. Now, these were little, like, almost felt dolls. They didn't take bludgeoning damage. So, I didn't die, but I was trapped underneath a rotting rock corpse. Because I was a little doll, I had no strength to push my way out. So now we've done that. Unfortunately, we were, close to someone who could help, you could say. Okay. Oh, I need to find a Shroomal Ogre? Okay. I want to go that way. So, when you arrive in Barovia, in Curse of Strahd, one of the first things that happens is you get your, you kind of get your fortune told by Madame Ava. It's a real cool thing. It helps set the tone, and it gives you some basic things you can kind of look for, kind of things that you know you need to head towards as a party. Good part of design there. I'm a little bit lost right now. I think maybe if I go this way I'll find a Shroomal Ogre. So, because of that and our adventures, we knew that, actually didn't have to do with the adventures at all, actually. But we needed, I've mentioned it before for Maryland, there are 3 gems important to the winery for helping it to grow grapes. And we knew that the 3rd one was in a swamp guarded by a witch. Yes, that's the way I need to go. Excellent. And of course, the rock happened to land just close enough that we were in the near vicinity of the said witch. I don't want to go that way. Now, I was trapped. Funny how that happens, isn't it? Yeah. No, it was your way of, one, we'd avoided this area for a while. That was a good choice. I unfortunately hadn't made my deck save though, so I was shit on my ability to move anywhere. So I had to rely on Blackjack to. Hey, we killed this guy. Blackjack had to see if he could find a way to free me. And thus begins our little puppet attempt to deal with Baba Lysaga, the adoptive formative parent for the being that becomes Strahd. Asterisk. There's weird things going on there. She's kind of like a nanny figure to him. Let's see. Who's next? 3 heavy sentries, really? Fine, I'll go to the city. Now, the other thing with Blackjack's character, pre and post becoming a doll, is little obsessed with were-ravens, which are a thing. So he sees a were-raven there. He wants to get help from her, tries to talk to her. She says they need to, basically, you have to prove you're trustworthy because it's Barovia. A lot of people are a little crazy by infiltrating the witch's house as a little doll. Blackjack gets caught. It's not his fault, really. The dolls don't have the best of stats, but just a couple bad luck. Baba Lysaga doesn't have great passive, but it's good enough for what she needs to do. Let's go to city storerooms. So, Baba Lysaga starts, she finds this doll, and gives doll Blackjack to baby Strahd. Which, obviously, you don't want to be you don't want baby Strahd playing with you, and you can't do anything. So, Blackjack starts talking to her, trying to convince her, like, oh, I can help you. He does a pretty decent job at it, enough that she's like, he convinces her that, hey, you know how the baby Strahd really likes me? I could get you more of me. His idea being that this way he can have her, oh look, he's a husk bully. Bob Lysaga will find a way to get me out. It was nice of him, because obviously he wanted to get me out because I was stuck beneath a rotting rock corpse. So, he convinces her to give him the ability to go out and look for the other dolls. She chooses to do this by true polymorphing him, so it can last a while, into a giant vulture. Right there. If I'd gone here earlier, I would have had them right. God. It's fine. It's fine. So, here Blackjack kind of like stretches the limitations of what Bob Lysaga has put on him. So first, he uses his ability of being a giant vulture to gorge himself on rock meat until he can free me from it. Which, now that I say it, was really disgusting. But you know, it's what he had to do, it's the moveset he was given. So he gets me into play, and then he hangs out with me for a little bit, because he logics that as this new form, if he works with me, and what I can do, I can help him get to the other ones faster. And because Blackjack just... we don't want to actually bring the other dolls here. So... I then make my foray into Bob Lysaga's hut, which is the classic witch's hut. I think hers is the one that can... yeah, it's the one that gets up and walks around on chicken legs. Man, where are more heavy sentries? If I go up, maybe? So, as a giant vulture, Blackjack continues to try to convince me to work with the were-ravens. I don't want to because I can tell the were-ravens are crazy, and unlike his character, I don't have a vested interest in them per se. But I still work along with them because there's nothing better I can really do. I think it'll be faster if I just go up. No, I can kill you too, okay. So I try to, and I fail at picking a lock, to make a distraction. Eventually, hey, there we go. Blackjack makes enough of a distraction. I have a chance to sneak in. Bob Lysaga basically leaves the house, so, you know, while the witch is away, the little felt doll, who is now a rogue, will play. I investigate the house, and it goes pretty decently well. There is a, I found the house, though, is a little bit, I keep calling it a house, the hut, is not completely unguarded. There are, crawling claws, which, for a regular adventurer, wouldn't be a threat at all. Hey, there we go. Excellent, found them. For my character, a little bit of a problem. So I'm going about, I find there's a chest there. I open the chest, I get in the chest to hide from them. In the chest I managed to find a scroll of burning hands, I think it was. Yeah. And looking around, I find out that the third gem we need is beneath Baby Strahd's crib. Baby Strahd not being actual Baby Strahd, but a simulacra that Bob Lysaga makes and treats like a baby because, again, it's Barovia. Everyone's at least a little crazy. Alright, I need to do the Flukmungas too. Okay. Let's hold off on the Flukmungas for now. Crystal Crawler, Crystallized Husk. And then the Carver Hatchers. Okay. That means I need to do Deep Nest for the Carver Hatchers, don't I? Oh wait, or are they? No, they're in the failed tram, which is up there. Oh man, that's a pain to get to. What's the easiest way of getting to that? Probably through Queen Station? Going there, all the way down through there. Frickin' hate Deep Nest. Such a garbage place. Or no, it's actually faster to go through the trams. Yes, it is. Okay, Palace Grounds it is. So, I have to make the choice. Because I don't roll terribly well. So, to get to the gem, which is beneath this part of the house that stays around, there's like wooden way in there, I need to hit it with Burning Hands. It's the only way I can as a doll. Or I need to find another way. But if I do Burning Hands, I have to hit Baby Strahd. And you know, it's a weird simulacra thing, right? It's not actually a baby, so I kind of burned Baby Strahd with the Burning Hands. It's not a big deal. I'm sure Baba Lysaga will take it fine. King Station? No. No, I wanted Hidden Station. But I get the gem. Put the gem in me. I'm almost there. I have to get out. I have one of like 3 good moments in the entire campaign as I come up with the dumb bullshit idea of she has to open the house to come in, right? Not open the house. She has to open the door to come in. I'm gonna hide right on the door, holding onto it by a tiny puppet body, tiny doll body, and she's not even gonna look when she opens it, because you don't look down usually, right? It's like you don't look up that much. Like you look at what you're used to looking at. I just managed to hit the stealth check to beat her passive perception by 1. Oh, that reminds me. When I go back to actually doing like story stuff here, this is the guy who I need to read the dreams of to continue doing actual plot stuff. Well, I say guy, it's an animated armor thing with a corpse. The corpse is empty, it's just armor there. Ah. So we go. Blackjack is still being compelled, but now that I have the gem, we can leave here and not have to come back. Go and find the party. Still end up spending like another, like, that was like halfway through. Go up this way. We eventually, we go try to find a way to get our buys back. We meet up with the Waffle crew. We learn about a pool that can heal us. I'm on the cusp of making it, and I get murdered by a swarm of bats sent by Baba Lysaga, who hates me because I killed Baby Strahd. Our Hexblade, great old one, Hexblade, Daerith, has made a pact and has taken the evil star Zadoon into him to have infinite resurrection, so he brings me back from the puppet body as I am birthed out of a pool of blood. You know, your typical Barovia stuff. What else? I'm not gonna say too much during here because I forgot how freaking loud these things are. Although, wait a second. Because I've missed the thing that has their entry. And I think I know where it might be, but... Alright, here we go. Does it not mention it here? Come on, you have to mention it. Yeah, Garpede. Oh, is this where Gome is too? I haven't found the Gome one yet, have I? Okay. Where do I need to go? Yeah, it is there. Did I find it and I missed it at the time? Man, they are so loud. The corpse of a Garpede. I can't believe I missed that earlier. How freaking stupid. Garpede, giant burrower covered in thick shell plates, tirelessly travels the tunnels of the deep nest. Monstrously strong, they shrug off any attacks you make on their thickly armored bodies. Luckily, if you simply avoid their paths, they'll leave you alone. Ah, look, I'm getting up there though. 152 out of 156. Gotta find 9 more. Or complete 9 more. Although I need to. Let's go back, because I need to find where. Because it says Gome here. I don't think I found Gome, so. Oh, okay. That's where I missed it. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I'll go back and do that later. Okay. Deep Nest. I want to go the failed tramway, that's right. Oh, so freaking noisy. Alright, so, geez, I'm still on Curse of Strahd. What other notable things to talk about? I guess it's time to jump to the Amber Temple, then. Which is often where a lot of things pivot. It's the, except for maybe Castle Ravenloft itself, the Amber Temple is like the big death trap of the module. It is also where the shadow aspects of evil gods locked away that run the prison realm of Barovia to torture Strahd. It's where they're kept. It's where you can directly make deals with them, kind of open yourself to them, and kind of the goal of the campaign in a lot of ways. Get the PCs in the right state to make deals. So, this happens during that whole Babala Saga escapade. Blackjack and I are off doing these things while the rest of the party is busy trying to go through the Amber Temple. Showing more restraint than we usually have in, like, say, the Wednesday game. We just have the party, not everyone's in it. We maybe talk and stuff during it, but we don't, like, make extra PCs. Which, as we've seen, really cuts down on the chaos. It's a good move. Although it can be fun to have multiple parties running too. It gets tiring. Okay. There we go. I need to kill these things. Alright. So, first of all, turns out trying to go to a big snowy mountain without winter clothing, really bad. Almost lose people because of exhaustion from exposure. Fortunately, they meet a friendly fiend who knows Leomund's tiny hut, which is, of course, weather controlled. He makes a deal with them. Because he needs something from the Amber Temple, they can all travel together. It's all buddy-buddy. So they get to the Amber Temple, which is where the Dark Powers were housed, and there's a lot of things that do just mean things in the Amber Temple, and it's where we have our other 2 character deaths. Well, not counting my puppet death. And technically it's 3, but one of them we really glossed over in the moment. So, they aggroed a bunch of things. Because it turns out, when you run from an encounter and open a door, sometimes you find another encounter. Oh shit, that was them already, huh? Well, okay. What do I need to go to next? Carver Hatcher. Garp, Deep, Just really, I didn't. This one spiny husk. Oh, I need to find Mantis traders. Okay. Ooh, I don't think I ever read the Trader Lord. This is a fun description. Trader Lord, deposed lord of the Mantis tribe, embraced the infection and turned against his sisters. I have felt that desire, the desire to take the infection into myself, to become stronger, more powerful. These thoughts haunt my dreams during the darkest times. A false hope, but it can burn so brilliantly in one's mind. So, hanging out in the Amber Temple, they aggro just a couple encounters they shouldn't do. And some barbarians just end up having better luck than the rest of the party, and we lose. Was it? It was both Ska and Alice again, wasn't it? Because I know it's Terramat, because when she comes back her madness doesn't matter. And that was when she got the child, it was. So they get trapped in this room with the barbarians, and they don't stop trying to kill them, and the barbarians end up killing them. But fortunately, it's where the dark powers are. It's where resurrection is kind of the most expensive, but the cheapest too. Captain's character, his warlock of Zadoon, makes the sacrifice of taking that aspect of the dark powers of Zadoon into himself and gets infinite res. So he brings them back. They're a little bit extra crazy, but especially with Terramat, it just makes her stronger. Alright, I was gonna go to Forgotten Crossroads again. So after that, when you lose 2 characters like that, you have the the focus the fuck up moment, as it were. Oh, and our so there it takes on the power. It takes away his sense of his senses. At least I think at least touch. Might have been just touch. There was a husk bully here too. Of course there was. But he's not the only one who makes a deal. Our wizard, Alkeus, who wanted to be a necromancer, is gonna stop me right here. Yeah, like weirdly undead adjacent. I have to go a freaking long way around. God, this is the other thing that's annoying about the infected crossroads. They have no reason to have these infections like blockways. And it doesn't get represented on the map at all, but it is what it is. Our wizard, Alkeus, for necromantic power, he makes a deal. He goes very cold emotionally. No, when Terramat comes up, there's a thing that lets you, it's the power of basically a tyrant. It gives you like +4 charisma, but it makes you more vain, and you think everyone should listen to what you do, so didn't make any change for her either. It became the meme that like Terramat could do no wrong because Barovia just made her stronger every time it tried. Wasn't really the case, but it was a fun way to interpret it. And the fact that it was kind of emphasizing things that were already a part of the character. Okay, I need to go up now? Yeah, I need to go up now. So, I'm gonna be selfish again. One of my other triumphant moments of the Curse of Strahd campaign was not with my character, because it was in the Amber Temple. Alice couldn't make it, so I was kind of holding control of Terramat. And the Amber Temple has a lich that runs it. And we'd finally reached the point where we aggroed the lich, and he was trying to drive us off. As he does, it's kind of his job, right? So, he teleports into a giant 40-foot statue. It's the way I want to go, right? Although, have I seen a... Am I dumb? Have I seen a Golem already? I don't see it on here, though. Oh my goodness, that's right. I haven't even finished the sibling one. I'll hold off on the sibling one, that one's fine. Oh! Hollow Knight. Fully grown vessel, carrying the plague's heart within its body. The old king of Hollow Nest. He must have been desperate to save his crumbling little world. The sacrifices he imposed on others. All for nothing. Oh man, okay. So, the Lich teleports into this statue because it gives it a pretty good line of sight that we have a hard time seeing into. Right, I didn't have the right spell for this moment. A fossilized Golem wedged into the rock. Golem. Thickly armored, it bursts from the ground to seize prey in its fangs. These brutes seem to be impervious to most damage, so you can sharpen your weapons on their thick hide or just slash away at them for your own amusement. They barely seem to notice. Okay. Not what I wanted to look at, but that's okay. So, in my infinite wisdom to do dumb things, I decide that the easiest way to stop the Lich from being in the statue is to try to push the statue over. Marco, with Marilyn, had summoned a couple bears because one of her trademarks was she would summon animals because it turns out conjure animals is actually pretty good. She was also a shepherd druid, so it made more sense for her. So I'm like, hey, can I use these bears? And with Terramat and the two bears, I'm going to try to push the statue over. Dill, being a generous GM, is like, sure, you can try. Roll all 3 strength checks. And I believe you went at like a collective 60. And they all have like +4s. I roll a 19, a 19, and a 17. Maybe it was a 19 and 2 17s in a row. So I roll like a collective like 67 or 68. It's a lot. It's more than it should have been. So you let me have it, and I push the statue over, bringing the Lich down. That same round, our wizard, being clever and investigating, manages to find the phylactery, and he destroys it. Which is when the Lich goes from being the Lich to just being full-blown Skeletor. Which is one of those moments of just nice levity where, like, we just really were hitting the dice right then. Right, I was gonna go to Queen's Gardens. I'm not gonna have time to go into actually the 3rd campaign, Tomb of Annihilation. But I will finish up, I guess, last note for my character Cat. I did eventually get my body back, and I managed to not die once I had the real body back, despite really, by all odds, he should have died. In Castle Ravenloft, there was a big whole wedding happening. Strahd was trying to marry the reincarnation of his old love. And Baba Lysaga, as his mother figure, was there. So when we broke things forth, she came for me with a vengeance. I managed to somehow survive a couple Finger of Deaths. One, I managed to get lucky enough to roll a nat 20 on a death save to get up, and two, on the second attack, it was a Finger of Death, and I just rolled a nat 20 to make this con save there. Nope, checked my constitution otherwise, it was just a raw d20. Jeez, where is... this way, maybe? The problem with finding Mantis traders are they're in the, like, the weirdest places. I believe this one will go give me at least one or two, though. So we have our big confrontation, everyone plays well. Captain with Dareth had just picked up Wall of Light, he uses that to pretty good effect. Here we go. This is like the longest session, like the finale of Curse of Strahd is, I think, maybe the longest session we've done in the Saturday game. It definitely is the one that went latest. How close is a thing on this end? No, it's faster to go this way. And by the end of it, we think we kill Strahd. Alice's evil character of Terramat decides to take over because that's what she wants, and once you defeat Strahd, the force of being the land, of ruling it, kind of becomes, you can take control of it if you like. As long as you've been opened up enough by the dark powers to kind of take it. Otherwise you don't have the temptation. Well, that didn't go well. And we get to his tomb there at the end, and we stake his body as his main kind of manservant who had helped us along the way, tearfully watches. And then he had asked us to take him out, so we take him out. We leave Barovia, not realizing that we had in fact actually just killed that man, as Strahd had taken his place. And we take Strahd out of Barovia. Which, you know, is fine. He needed the sun, I'm sure. Okay, let's rest here. I'm missing a couple. I didn't give everyone quite their dues. They all had good moments. That was like... Curse of Strahd, I think, ended up being the formative campaign for that group. There was a lot of other things going on there, but that was kind of the thing that cemented a lot of stuff. Tomb of Annihilation had done a lot, and in many ways it also is formative, but it's formative in a way that it might have made things so they might change a little bit. Or heck, Captain's new job, if that pans out, that'll be a big enough change too. But honestly, if he has to miss our games to have a decent job, all power to him. I will miss having him, but I'll just be way happier to know he's not at that hellscape of his current job. Maybe shouldn't... I probably should have said it on here, actually. It wasn't my place to say. I'm not thinking entirely straight. That's fine. No, it's not a big deal, but... But yeah. And that Curse of Strahd campaign was like 34 sessions, so a little over half a year. Sure, I had some things during it. Let's see what I need to do now. I put the Gome on there. What am I at? I need to find 6 more, including a Flucamunga. Oh right, these 2 things. From the crystal things, okay. Oh, and there's Shielded Fool, Sturdy Fool. These 2. And the sibling. Okay. I don't know if I have enough time, but I can get most of the way there. Between... Wow. I just realized. I just have spent like, what? Hour 15 minutes, maybe an hour and a half talking all these things. I had a point to that. Between the modules of Lost Mine and Curse of Strahd, and then Curse of Strahd to Tomb of Annihilation, we decided that before we jumped into another 5e game, we wanted to have a little break. Which is why during those times we'll go into other games. Now, some of the people in there, they're a little bit used to D&D, so it's sometimes a bit of an ask to get them to play along. But it's been a chance for us to kind of branch out. And as we wrapped up our 1.5-year Tomb of Annihilation game just a couple months ago, that's what we've been doing in the Saturday game. We've been trying out like the Lancer mech game. Alice ran a 13th Age one-shot, which went pretty well. Even if not all of us felt like the system itself. I've run Iron Kingdoms a couple times. Marco has done a great job with Starfinder. Captain has run Ryutama. He's run Tenra Bancho Zero. And it's just good with tabletops like D&D, especially 5e, will do a lot. But you really owe it to yourself to break out of it every now and then. Try something new out. Okay, I need to go up now. Yeah, up I go. Oh man, if I need to... Can I go up this way? Yeah, this way works too. It looks like we're going to go back to... to Lancer, which is a mech campaign, for the 3rd part of what's been basically like an introductory little thing that Blackjack has done. Which he's been doing good with. Even if occasionally the system can be a little bit 4E-esque in how some things are executed. And then soon enough, we're going to start a mini, might go as far as 15 session 5e camp game set in Ravnica, run by Dilligan. Probably sometime in November. Maybe the tail end of October. I need to fight, how many of those? 6? So I need 4 more? I think I can do that by just doing this. Good job, May. Oh, really? This is fine. Right. This is dumb because I need to go up. Oh man, whatever. That might still work out. It's been fun though, very clearly my memory is a shoddy mess. But it's been kind of fun to reminisce about these things. since we haven't really streamed the Saturday game at all, these are just like, it's the things to talk about. Don't have like a record of it, like say Darkhold or all that. But that's fun too. Sometimes it's nice not to have to worry about all that stuff. Okay. So with that, I think I have enough time. I'm gonna real quick do the Colosseum again. Because I still need to make about 21, because I need 9,000, 12,000. So... go to King Station. I'll probably do the Trial of the Conqueror and then the Trial of the Fool again. And then that's gonna wrap up the stream. Which has mostly just been me doing a lot of bullshit stuff. But it's been fun. Good to reminisce over this stuff. Give me something to talk to over what is otherwise quite dry. Because I've just been grinding for the past hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. Oh. I just took it off and I'm looking at it like... where do I need to go next? Tell me, map. And the map's like, bro, you took off the compass. I can't tell you shit. Although this was not the right way. I need to stay down a little bit. This is where I need to go. Having gone through a lot of this all again, and I always have it gone through quite recently too, I mostly remember where a lot of this stuff is now. I still like to have the compass on though, because it's way faster than having to like, well, I know I've gone this way and this way and this way, so... That didn't work as well as I planned. Drop. Killing things quickly. Alright. All doing pretty decent so far. Let's heal up here. Blobbles. There we go. Pretty quick. Now, if I look at a sturdy fool and a shield, I think both of these are actually in the final one too, because I need to kill these anyway. So. Hit the wrong button. Let us fight for the glory of being a fool once more. Oh, you stopped right below me, you son of a bitch. Oh well. Alright. Being more reckless than I really should be. I find the Trial of the Fool is really more about challenging my impatience than it is about my ability to do well. Oh, that was bad. Oh right, I forgot the Mantis traders were in this one too. I should just finish this and down them that way. Can't hold me in place. You're not trapped in here with me. I mean, no, jeez. I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. Alright, here comes the part that might kill me. meet again, God Tamer. Actually, I'm going to show off what I had mentioned last time. So I'm ignoring the God Tamer that the boss is named for. You only need to kill the god. I believe I've mostly done actually what I wanted to with this grinding stream, which is perfectly happy, perfectly good for me. Let's see, what do I have left? Complete the sibling, those two. Don't quite know which one I'm missing right now. Oh, I'm just missing the final boss, aren't I? And then two more things that I know what to get to. So, I will make sure to leave myself off to where I want to. I think Dirtmouth, I'll finish up the divine stuff. Ooh, yes, I will finish up the divine stuff. Next time. Then I can finish the Grim Troop, because I've held off on that for a little bit. But anyways, thanks everyone who showed up for this. Let's just, so I don't forget, take off you and you for now, put on you and you for now, and put you back on. Actually, I can have you on a BR right now. Do that. Thank you all. Have a good night, and I'll see you the next time for this.